commend you on a wonderful presentation. You're a wonderful speaker. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm just about asleep. You put me to sleep. You talk so much, told us things that we're not interested in. I'm not interested in it. I don't want airport traffic. I don't care what kind of studies you do on it. I don't want no more traffic. Is anybody here in agreement with that? Take that back to your county commission meeting. My name is Roy Fink. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Roy.
Hold on a second.
I'm actually going to change the subject just a little bit because this land that you want to rezone, there are actually people living there, and one of your applicants said they wanted to clean up the mobile home parks, and there are people living there. How many people are going to be dishoused? And some of those people are low income. Where are they going to go? I didn't see any plans for low income housing. And those people now are not paying homeowner association fees. Where are they going to go? And do we really want an explosion of homeless people? And people in low home parks are low income people. And they're low income. Some of them are disabled, they're senior citizens, they're single parents with children. You know, those are the people our county commissioners are supposed to be representing. They're not supposed to be representing the applicants and the people who might move here.
I'm glad to see some people are actually having a chance to make a public comment. Every meeting you get into, you always say questions and answers, but your agenda even states public comment. And this is a community meeting to hear public comment. I'd like to take 1 minute of your time. You say that there's been no money for roads, yet there's been improvements going on for the traffic currently on I-50. So that's for the current problem. That's not going to fix it if you're going to add another development.
That's right.
I don't have faith in your estimate and your proposal and your plans. And I will tell you why. 10 years ago when I moved here, there were cows down the street. There were rural roads. They were dirt. The people's houses were already on them. They lived on the dirt roads. Those roads got paved. New developments have come in. The roads should help those developments, but they did not. They added more traffic. I used to be able to get out of my house and go to work, go to the store, get to where I needed to go, and get out of my neighborhood reasonably well. I cannot do that anymore. The traffic is horrific. It's also been said by the development group that there are similar developments around them that are already in place, so they're not necessarily changing. But the fact is, we bought housing here. I bought in a rural area. I bought where the cows were, where the dirt road is, where I could get to work. The real issue here is not about the change of the roads or how nice the plan is going to look when they change it and add trees and do what they're going to do with their infrastructure. It might be a beautiful development, but that's not the issue. The issue is this was rural land. If anyone that was one parcel for 10 acres, we would all be happy, but we are not, we don't want it.
Right.
If anyone here agrees with me, I'm not sure how many people I speak for, I know they're red shirts, but if you agree, would you please take the moment to stand up so we know how many people are politicians and everyone else, that is the answer to the public comment.
Yes.
I need to just make one clarification. As Mr. Harold said earlier, Orange County staff is neutral on this. The only thing I'm doing is reporting what a process might look like
comment.
I completely agree with what was just stated, but I'd also like to criticize the presentation on a very, I think, important point. I've been making presentations like this in my own field for 35 years. I know how to manipulate slides, I know how to create a positive impression, I know how to try to set up a straw man argument so your argument, the conclusion that you want to try to get the public to see is really closer in hand. And I believe that's what you presented here tonight. You presented a paradigm in which development is inevitable. And you were saying that fundamentally, all we can do is work in partnership with private organizations to get the roads improved. And in 2030, we're going to need all these roads improved if we don't do anything. And just a tiny change of additional road development if we put in 3,800 new homes and God knows how many other commercial development. Okay, I find that to be delicious. I find that to be and we have to add an extra 300 yards of road between the two scenarios. So you set up a paradigm that says, we don't have any money to build the roads, the developers are going to help us build the roads, therefore we want to have development. So I would argue you are not neutral. This
It's a very brief response. So, as I said earlier, these roadways are identified in the comprehensive plans as a public-private partnership roadways. That's in the comp plan, that's not something that I'm proposing or any other staff is proposing. That's something that's been adopted by Board of County Commissioners. Again, when that designation is made, it requires private development to participate at some level for the road improvement. So again, this is not something
That can be amended. I'm not idiot, sir. I'm sorry.
You said something earlier in your presentation that became very, very disturbing to me. My name is John Stanley and I live on North Cannon Road. 10 years ago, we were sitting at a table with attorneys talking about how much you were going to give us because you were taking that road and you were two-laning it for what you did. Earlier in your presentation, you mentioned that it was a possibility for North Cannon Road to be four-lane. That's what you said.
The Tanner Road was identified as a failing roadway, but as you noticed on the list and on the map, Tanner Road is not one of those roads that would be addressed in the agreement. So we have, let me clarify that if I misspoke. Tanner Road is not scheduled for widening the 4 lanes, and that's not in the
Get it
contract
right.
for a future widening.
Well, I just want to state how this works. I received a check from the county of how much you took on my property. It was 25 feet deep and 175 feet across, and I received $5,600 from the county. I'm here to tell you, you made a covenant with all of us residents on North Cannon. Did you or did you not? You made a covenant. You entered into a covenant with the residents of Orange County and said that road would not be changed from what it is right now. Did you or did you not?
Yes, the
Yes,
roadway
you did.
is not in the compact.
Okay, now I'm here to tell you, the residents of North Cannon Road are prepared. If you try to do that, you entered into that covenant with us. We expect you not to break that covenant, and we are way more prepared now than we ever were then.
Tanner Road is not one of these roadways that has been identified for future improvement. The only way that could change is if the Board of County Commissioners makes a policy decision. That would require a series of public hearings, and et cetera, et cetera. But it is not.
Alright, I just want to make 2 observations, comments. I just want to make 2 comments
homes, I meant to say trips.
Okay, so how many homes are there?
It's 3,800 PM peak hour trips. In terms of homes, we've got 2,000 over in Lake Picket South and 1,856, I think it is.
Okay, so the point I want to make on that, and I'm retired and hard to go out at all, but my husband and I have 2 cars, and I know we make more than 2 trips a day, and we're not working. That was one observation. And the other one I want to point out, because it goes along with my next comment, is that when you talk about rural, urban road and rural road, and you're going to give us a rural road width of 90 feet. But then, what is happening to us on these developments is you are putting in urban developments that have the high density of any urban area, which is fine, but then you're going to support it with rural roads, and you think there's a problem now? It doesn't. And now it's on computing. But the second thing is I want to be clear and concise. I am totally against the proposed future land use amendments that are there. They are not fair to this area, an area that is proud of being agricultural and rural. Please let it remain rural. And this is Mr. Edwards, I just wanted to understand how we feel. Thank you.
I actually have 2 questions. When you talk about if they build the developments and they'll improve the roads at the same time, you said concurrent, it would take 4 years for the roads to be built? So it doesn't take 4 years to put a house?
Right,
No, I'm talking about the development, right? Off Lake Picket, and they're throwing houses up like they're matchsticks.
so just in terms of time frame, we're a long way from any approvals. We're not even in transit yet. So let's assume it makes it all the way to the approval process of the county commission. They still have to put all their plans together. That's at least a year or more.
And so they'll start developing the roads right then?
Well, as I said, they will have to initiate, I think, the preliminary engineering study, the design, and address right away, well in advance, or concurrent with those very preliminary plans. But before they can pull a building permit, we would like to see the roadway under construction or have it basically fully funded. And again, that first building permit would not be approved until that commitment was there.
Right, but the problem with that is that they're gonna build houses a hell of a lot quicker than they're gonna build roads.
It takes that time frame. They will not be able to pull a permit
Guarantee
until
that they're not going to have their houses built. Or if once all their houses are built, then all the roads will be fixed.
well, it's not all their houses, it's incremental.
Well, whatever it is they're building, I'm not.
So again,
And I'm talking about the south, the Lake Picket South.
this is something that will be addressed in the agreement. So that is where the county's staff's position is now.
Okay. The other question I have is, someone told me that your traffic evaluation started during Easter break. When did you start with the traffic? That's what I was told, that the traffic evaluation started during Easter break, when most people are like at the beach or.
Again, I want to be clear that.
Where do you live? Just tell me, do you live out here in East Orlando?
Let me answer one question at a time. First of all, county staff, the county is not the applicant here. We didn't conduct any of these studies. These are studies that were submitted by the applicants.
So that would be if you get on 408 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you are in gridlock until you get to 419.
Ladies and gentlemen, in order to be productive, again, just, I'm trying to be respectful to you all, so if I could answer the question so the folks can hear it, I'd appreciate it. So, as I would say, like any other applicant throughout Orange County, they are required to submit as part of their application for future land use or whatever the circumstance might be, a transportation study. That So again, this is not a county initiated
Right.
project. We have applicants, they have a right to apply for changes in land use or whatever that it is that they want to do with their land. The county then is obligated to require them to go through a series of steps and processes. One of those is a traffic submittal to the county, which we review. So that's where we are again. The county is not the applicant. The applicants are private entities. It is not your government that is applying for changes in land use or a financial framework to improve the roadways. What I'm relating to you is this is how a process could work. I'm not saying this is how it's going to work. And again, this is all subject to the Board of Counties Commissioners review and approval if they desire.
Okay, and Mr. Edwards, I live in Christmas Estate, so I'm pretty sure that I speak for everybody in my neighborhood, we all oppose this.
Hello, my name is Bill Pons, and I've lived in this area in East Orange County for 25 years, and I love it here. And the reason I love it here is the rural atmosphere. I lived in downtown San Francisco. I could go back there, and I prefer to live here the way it is now, not what seems to be coming. But I agree with I agree with all the other speakers, and a lot of the things I want to say they've already mentioned, but I have a few more items that I'd like to bring to the group. One is being here so many years, I was here, Mr. Edwards, when this development, Corner Lakes, and the development across the street, Cypress, and then the new city down the road, Avalon, I was down at all those meetings. I heard about all these wonderful things that were going to happen. I heard about all the transportation. I heard about everything's going to be so nice, parks, whatever. There hasn't been one single foot of anything that has happened since this development. We're lucky if we put a pothole on Route 50. I mean, it's the same thing in Lake Picket. I drive all over the state of Florida. The worst intersection in Florida is Lake Picket and 50. And that's without pleasant traffic. Wait till these new fellows come. I can't wait. In real estate, in the two meetings, I've heard that all these thousands of people are coming. They're all coming to be a professor at UCF or something. I guess mowing the lawns on these people in houses. I don't know where all these jobs are. We've had Cypress, we've had Corner Lakes, we have Avalon down the road. I don't know where all these jobs are. The people in Bithell, there's 50% unemployment or just gave up looking for work. There's none of these new jobs. But there's a theory in real estate. It says, if you build it, they will come. There's also a corollary to that theory. It says, if you don't build it, they will come.
Thank you, sir.
No, it's my turn. It's my turn. You can talk.
I just want to make sure that all
Your presentation sounds like there's going to be these thousands of people that are coming in for jobs. I don't know where these jobs are. And they're going to live under a tree. They're going to live under a tent. And unless we build your developments and improve your developments, these people are just going to be in the streets.
Yeah, this is not our development. These are private developments that have applied. And it's not the county, it's not the county. I just want to make sure that this element of the rest of it is. We're here till 8:30.
Yeah, well, let me finish that so I can get Let me finish so somebody else can get a turn. In East Orange County, particularly Bithell, people live here because they like the rural atmosphere and also they like the low price. And what your development is going to do, which is what they said in Corner Lakes and Avalon, it's going to raise your property value. Oh, wonderful. Guess what happens when your property values go up? Your property taxes go up. And there's nobody in this room on venture that says, I'm going to move out of here. I'm going to go downtown or Orlando so I can buy a They're here because it's affordable, it's rural, and that's what they want. And when the property values go up, their property taxes go up, and they're screwed, quite frankly. There's no place in Florida that has this rural, low-priced living, and you want to destroy it. I will finish objecting to Mr. Edwards. I know Mr. Edwards personally, he's a fine gentleman, and he's honorable. But I just want to restate, Ted, that the people in this room, and I think there's 95%, they're the people that elected you to do your job. Who are coming from I don't know where to make a few bucks more and make a big profit at our expense. And Ted, and I know Rick Scott, he wants to chop down every tree in Florida and make developments everywhere so he can brag that he's created a few more jobs. There are people out here, I think you've heard it over and over again, the people out there are not interested in Rick Scott's performance evaluation. They want their rural, low-cost living right here.
I'm gonna try one more time, and maybe I will get through a couple of things. But again, we have private property owners that are going through an application process. The county is obligated to review their application. That's where we are. The county is here to provide, to give everybody an opportunity to have their say. That's why we're here this evening. Again, we're not advocating anything one way or the other. We're just here presenting to you what the facts are. The applicant has submitted something.
746.
They have a right to do that, and that is where we are. Okay, again, sir, please.
I'd like to go back to a couple of the slides that you had up there. One of them was the term agreement sheet. Sorry, which one? Term agreement sheet. And there was
Give me a second, sir. Go ahead and ask your question.
there was segment breaks shown depicted on that picture.
Yes, segment breaks.
Okay, let's talk about them for a minute.
Okay.
The segment breaks, are they there for budgeting or what?
Again, this is a conceptual proposal. Okay, nothing has been decided.
Okay.
But that is representative of what could happen. So the segment breaks would illustrate the potential. Again, this is not been determined. Yes, sir. What segments would have to be constructed in order for development to take place? Now, what level of development, that has not been determined yet, whether it's 100 homes or 300 homes. That's something that we're going through that analysis, and it will be part of the term sheet and part of the agreement. The segment breaks represent, and the representative.
Different people paying for it. I think different people paying for it. Different segments.
Well, it would be, at this stage, I don't know whether it would be Lake Picket North or South doing segment one of Lake Picket. That's something that we were going to.
They would be constructed simultaneously, correct?
They would be, well, the segments would be constructed simultaneously with the vertical construction of the homes or whatever it is that they're building, yes.
Okay. On that same picture, you've got North Canada Road as a 2-lane road.
Yes.
Ever been out there in the morning? It's
There's
pretty crazy. So, anyway. All right. Would the $45 to $60 million would be in place in increments as you go? Is that correct? Yes. Okay. I just wanted to get that straight. Now, have you built fluff into any of this for all these developments that are going out here, out east side of Julia Road?
Sorry, repeat the question. If you could speak into the mic, please.
I said, is there any fluff built into any of those trips and all that stuff? For all the stuff that's happening east of Julia Road out here on Lake Picket Road?
I'm not sure what you mean by fluff.
There's 2 subdivisions that are under construction. And there's another one that's got a pile of dirt, looks like Mount Sinai. Pulte Homes is gonna build a whole bunch of big fancy houses, and those folks are gonna have to go to work to pay for them. Which means they're gonna have to go down to Lake Picket Road to get to heaven over here.
So just to make a distinction between the proposal for these two developments, which are a long way from building anything, but anything that has been approved by the Board of County Commissioners for development, like these applicants have gone through the requirement to submit a transportation study. And I can't tell you all the specifics, but generally speaking, developments that impact failing roadways are required to mitigate and address their impacts through a proportionate share agreement. So in other words, if they affect a failing roadway segment, or if the development causes for a certain segment to fail, they are required to enter into an agreement with the county to pay whatever the cost of the improvement is related to their development.
Okay, the next guy comes out here, and goes out here on Fort Christmas Road and wants to build 2,500 houses. Who's gonna pay for the road for those guys to get down? Those guys? Or that guy?
I don't understand, so what do you ask?
There's a lot of big land out here, sir. Get in your car and drive around out here. Go around the corner and Lake Picket Road down, go down. There's a big empty.
Yes. So that development will also have to go through what we call concurrency. In other words, they will have to go through a very similar process, although it probably won't involve a term sheet and agreement because they already have their zoning. So they will have to go through the concurrency process, and any impacts that they cause on a roadway that pushes it over the acceptable level service threshold, they will have to mitigate those impacts.
Last thing I got
If I could, if you could just, I want to make sure we're out of here by 8:30, maybe everybody has an opportunity to ask questions.
Okay, the last thing I got to say is this. About 15 years ago, Linda came and poured water across the town. If it hadn't been for that, we would not be standing in this school right now, because there would be no development down there. Yet I lived out here for 35 years. Nobody's ever come and asked me if I want to find the water. I'm still on a well in something. Yet I'm gonna have to fight my way through all these folks that are gonna have water and sewer and all that neat stuff. And it's not gonna come out and help me. And I live 5 miles from here.
Thank you. Again, just a reminder, I want to be respectful and make sure that everybody has an opportunity. If you could keep your comments relatively short, I will give you my card if you want to call me or email me. Then if you want to get into the details, just want to state something. But please, sir.
My name is Jerry Garcia. I'm 69 years old. I've been in this community for 65 years, not 69 years. I've seen all this development fundamentally. And I've seen progress now. Without this progress, none of us should have jobs. Without this progress, your children and grandchildren don't have jobs. Progress is going to come, no matter what. When my people first were here, we didn't want the white man here. But we were here. We're developing. And without progress, we need to know who we're doing business with. And the development company that wants to develop this piece of land, they want to work with us. They're not trying to hide from us. They're trying to work with us.
Sir, if we could let everybody speak without any interruptions. Again, everybody please have their say, sir, please continue.
Progress is going to come no matter what through the years. So the more we fight with something, before you guys got here, this was a pasture. This school wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here before me. Because you're here because of progress. Progress comes no matter what. We need to know who we're doing business with. Are the honorable people? And for honorable people, that's who we want to do business with. Not the guys that come out there and throw apartments out here. That's all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's be respectful. Everybody has a right to say whatever they please. Madam, with limits.
My name is Dr. Kelly Summer. I'm One of my areas of expertise and research is how development impacts and influences the local's quality of life. One of the primary responsibilities of public stakeholders is to protect, sustain, or enhance the local's quality of life. What the gentleman just said, growth does happen, development does come, and it has to, but not at the cost of the quality of life of the local residents who reside within the area. When I reference quality of life, it doesn't only include traffic and congestion or infrastructural concerns. It also addresses how the development will impact the environment for which we all reside in. It impacts the schools of which our children attend. It should increase the economic well-being of the local area and provide employment opportunities. It should increase the socioeconomic welfare of the area, and it should enhance the subjective well-being of the local residents. The proposed projects that we've heard about in the development of Lake Picket have fallen inadequate in terms of recognizing how they will positively impact the local's residents' quality of life. My professional opinion and my expert opinion is that the projects that are proposed on Lake Picket for development are not in the best interest of the community at heart. This is a rural community, and therefore the quality of life is dictated based on rural policies, procedures, and development. When the locals express their opinion that they would like for it to remain rural, then the locals' quality of life needs to be considered in terms of how it is protected, how it is sustained, or how it is enhanced. From a community member's point of view, I would like to go on record that my husband and I had the opportunity to buy in Narcoossee, to buy in Baldwin Park, to buy in many other highly developed and urban areas. However, 2 years ago, we elected to move to East Orlando because we wanted to be part of a rural community.
Thank you.
I don't sell real estate here in South Florida, but I appraise it as well. And I grew up in 78, so I understand what you're saying. I was the first graduating class out of Lake High School, and that area has experienced massive change. It is now one of the #1 places that people want to move to in Central Florida. Oviedo is #4. When I grew up here, Oviedo was considered country, and way up here, nobody ever came. Everything changes, and if this developer wants to change, I believe, with this community, you have a farming area that wants to go in there, makes sense, change that.
If we could just let folks express themselves.
I got one more question. On 50, you're going to go ahead, or not you, but DOT is going to expand it to 6 lanes, whether or not this development is put in.
If we can help it.
Again, I would ask everybody to please be respectful of the speakers. They have a right to say whatever it is that's on their mind. So please, no interruptions. The Florida Department of Transportation does have plans to widen the State Road 50 all the way to State Road 520. However, the construction funding is not identified in the first 5 years of the work program, meaning that there is no funding identified currently through 2021.
How will that affect Toledo Road if that is not expanded at the same time that Fulham is?
Well, there'll be some diversion onto Chiliota, but probably the most severe impact will probably be at the intersection. You're trying to funnel traffic through 4 lanes into Chiliota. It's not going to be adequate.
So without private funding, that road is only going to get worse, and as you explained, through 2030, the impact will be considerably worse.
Well, other developer, there may be some other scenario where this roadway network can be addressed. But where we stand today, as I said earlier, these are public-private partnerships, and the expectation is to have development partner with the county to improve the roadway network.
So, but without them, you can't improve the roads.
Just never say that.
Okay, thank you. I have two quick questions and comments. One of them is, evidently there used to be a DRI application here back in mid-2000 that was rejected. Do you know what the reasoning for that was?
Yeah, the Board of County Commissioners made a policy decision that type of development should not take place the way that was proposed at the time, which was significantly different than what you're looking at today.
How was it significantly different? It was still the same property, right?
Same property is a different development program.
Light is feeding back to the speaker, so if you get behind the speaker, that won't happen.
All right, then the second question is, we talked about concurrent building permit with the roadway constructions. That doesn't guarantee that receiving COs on the buildings. So you can get started on a roadway construction, you can put up silt fence and break ground, and you'll issue the building permits. Then what guarantees that road is built before they get the CO on the buildings and somebody can move in?
The Board of County Commissioners, if it gets through adoption, will require the agreement to be in place. The developers cannot breach that agreement. They will not be issued a building permit unless the roadway is funded or is under construction, period. I mean, I don't know how much clearer I can make it.
But it could be under construction, and the funding is not secure, and it's just, they just broke ground, and they get the building permit, they can't finish building the houses, and you can get a CO. I've seen that done in Osceola County, Fruit Street Road.
Well, no disrespect to Osceola County, and I don't know how they do it there, but it wouldn't happen in Orange.
Okay, so is that gonna give some kind of provision that there's not gonna be the COs issue unless these roads are fully constructed and substantially complete?
Segments of roadways, not the entire network, because it's development driven.
And my comment would be real quick, the developers will permit anything. You can get a permit when there's an old eagle nest. There's so much environmental impacts in this area, especially by econ. There's gonna be watering going on, there's gonna be a lot of disturbance. There's sandhill cranes there, and they're gonna permit it. They can permit it when they are not nesting. So, they will find a way. And it is the Board of Commissioners' duty to avoid that because of the wetland impacts, the environmental impacts, and the traffic impacts. They're gonna
Sir,
find
we
some
have
way.
about 30 more people to go, and we've got 25 minutes.
I'm opposed to the rezoning. All of us here are in a sense traffic engineers too, we ride it every day back and forth. We know the real problem is from Avalon down to Eden Road, that those roads are the problem. It's not the road right in front of the Lake Picket South. Fixing that road is not a great movie for us. We're about to have the road fixed by the end of next year, where the real problem is, from Avalon to Eden Road. That's what we want to see happen. We want to have some bearable traffic. We understand it might not be perfect, but we move into the rural areas, we'll accept that. I want to see everybody at the LPA meeting on June the 18th and at the board meeting on July 28th. Thank you.
First, thank you, SaveOrangeCounty.org, for keeping me apprised of everything that is going on. You've done a very good job. Since I've heard the people here are, quote, neutral but concerned, let me speak for myself. I am not neutral. I am adamantly opposed to the building of these developments. Grow and Sustany need to be built in a place where growth is possible. Our space here is full. There is no room for either growth or sustainability. Understanding the road improvements will cost 40 to 60 million, is that just one of the road improvements, like Lake Picket, for instance, or is that the total number?
That's the total complement, Lake Picket, Chiliota, McCulloch Road, and Sustany.
And you're saying that Orange County does not in itself have the money to be able to make those improvements?
As we stand here today, no.
Okay, so I understand the developers are only subject to have to pay impact fees, is that correct? Nothing other than an impact fee?
No, that's not correct. So, again, we're in the midst of, haven't really started those discussions. The general approach would be that, let's say they generate somewhere between $17 and $23 million based on the development program. They could be eligible for impact fee credits for that increment. However, the delta, the difference between the $45 million or $65 million and the $23 million, that's something that one or both of the developers would have to absorb, and they would not necessarily receive impact fee credits for that delta. And again, that's sort of conceptually where we are, but it's certainly not the county's intent to award impact fee credits for the entirety of the cost of the network. Absolutely not.
Do impact fee credits then come back to the developers in the form of our taxes? How do they get paid?
Impact, again, single-family residential pays about $3,800 for one home for transportation impacts. That money is put into an impact fee zone. This happens to be zone 2. That money then is pooled to for the county to construct the roadways. So again, the two sources for county to construct roadways are gas taxes and impact fees. It doesn't involve taxes per se. It's not your home tax or property taxes are not part of that.
You said there are partnerships for building these road improvements. Are those, in essence, loans? And if so, how are those paid back?
No, they're not loans.
I don't understand the partnership aspect of that, because someone
Again,
has to make money.
they would get a certain amount of impact fee credits. In other words,
So some other developer can,
no, it's the same developer.
okay,
Okay, when they pull their building permit, basically they have established a bank, assuming that we gave them impact fee credits, and they can use that bank to pay their impact fees. Follow?
yeah, but that's just the initial impact fees. What about the partnerships that you mentioned to build the remainder of the roads for the money you don't have?
That is precisely the framework of the partnership. It's build a road in exchange for impact fee credits, plus you pay on top of that on the delta that I described earlier.
Forgive my ignorance, I don't see how that's happening.
Okay, so sir, but again, I would be glad to discuss this in detail with you if we could get other folks an opportunity to speak, please.
If the failing roads now that 50 is now trying to fix, are those going to fix the current problems on 50? Do those help, or do they fix? Do they do anything?
Improvements of 50?
I'm talking about 50s. 50s, whatever they're doing out there. Like,
going from 4 to 6 lanes, yes, would be a dramatic improvement. Yeah.
but then we're going to add 5,000 more homes, or 3,800 more homes, or whatever the number is. So it seems like we would be back to square one at that point, wouldn't we?
Again, ladies and gentlemen, please. Again, as you saw in the presentation, the same network fails with or without these developments. Again, please, sir, I would be glad to discuss all these things in detail if we can go to the gentleman over there.
I just have one last thing, and then I'm going to stop. Your proposed widening to 90 feet on Lake Picket Road, does that include the shoulder of the road and the sidewalk? Because that would also extend farther.
Yes, yes,
So the total thing would be 90.
yes.
Okay.
That leads right into my question. Bruce Davis, Lake Picket Road, you know, that particular place from Personal down to 50. You got 60 feet. How are you going to cram a 90-foot road in 60 feet?
So again, what I described earlier was a maximum of 90 feet. The county's minimum right-of-way width is 83 and a half feet.
Okay.
So we would have to
Where
acquire.
are you going to get that extra feet?
Well, somebody would have to acquire an additional 15 feet or so, actually 25 feet or so.
How are you going to do that? I asked the transportation
Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's make sure that everybody can hear the answer to the questions.
I asked the transportation director how it was going to do, and he said he has no idea because there are no plans. Well, now there's a plan, so tell me what the plan is, and how are you gonna do it?
I'm not sure which transportation director you spoke to, but he is correct, or she is correct, that there is no plan to,
That's Stacy.
to widen. Sorry?
That's it.
Well, that's me.
Thank you.
What the proposal is, whether it's these folks or anybody else, or if it's the county in the future that widens the road, we will have to go through an acquisition process. Sometimes it's friendly, sometimes it's a taking. So if it's a taking, we have to justify the necessity to widen the road, justify where and how we're widening it. That could potentially go to a court case, and that is the process. It's the process that the county uses, it's the process that the state uses, it's the process that the federal government uses. So there is an acquisition process in place. I'm not saying that that's where we are today. The only thing I'm saying is if and when right-of-way is required for Lake Picket or any other road in the county that necessitates additional right-of-way, there is a process for acquisition.
One last comment. The man that handed me the card that said Anastasia wasn't you.
I don't know how many Anastasias there are.
Transportation director.
All right.
Okay, I live in Coleman Lake.
I'm sorry, ma'am, if you can pull that microphone.
I live in Coleman Lake. All I've heard is 50 and a road, Lake Picket. It's gonna really hurt all of us, no matter what development you live in. And 50 is big. I have to get up at one time 4:30 in the morning so I can even get on 50 to get to work. And then coming home, it was a nightmare. I couldn't even get into my development. Because you know what? School's here, it's backed up all the way on 50 for people trying to turn in here to pick up their kids. Now, I'm in the cul-de-sac over here. I can't get in my development. I've got to drive up to Publix to wait until it's all over with. Someone should be out there directing traffic their whole life. That whole road to pick up their kids. I understand they got to pick them up, but there's got to be a better way that you can have traffic flow evenly instead of sitting there for a half hour just to get around the corner to your house. And finally, it took what, almost 15 years to take a turn lane to get into Publix? They finally painted a right-hand turn. But it used to be people trying to speed each other up there. It was ridiculous. I'm surprised no one's been hit. And I have heard that kids have been hit over here because of the traffic. Also, we've got a stop sign that people don't know how to stop for and just keep on going.
Thank you. I just want to remind everybody, we got to be out of here in about 15 minutes. So please, you can't, that's not us, that's the school. I'm sorry, we have folks that work for the school. I appreciate it, and at 8:30, we have to be out of here. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name's Simon Baker. I live up at 4263 Road, and we've heard mention tonight of the developments we see under construction right now on Lake Picket Road between Road and Lake Christmas Road, where, among other things, the Mount Sinai Mound we heard about earlier was seen. And in your presentation, we didn't hear about how their contribution is feeding into traffic alleviation here. What I think I heard was a contrast between what we'll see with Lake Picket North and with Lake Picket South, or without it. But I didn't see, I didn't hear how these other developments are contributing to the alleviation of the problem in that neck of the woods. And
any new development that impacts an existing deficient roadway, they're required to enter into a partnership project or a proportion share agreement with the county for that specific segment of roadway. So the distinction here is that we're only talking one segment of roadway, or maybe two, for those developments, as opposed to the whole network here. In addition, those smaller developments are required to pay their impact fees just like everybody else, and it's not just transportation, it's fire, sheriff, and so forth. So yes, they pay ostensibly their fair share of the impacts.
Okay, and let me just conclude with this. It seems to me that the impression we're left with is that we have a choice in front of us here in this neck of the woods between keeping the rural character of the place as defined by this 10-acre limitation or being strangled in traffic. And we've heard it said that our problem maybe begins not so much here currently, maybe over the next 15 years, but at Avalon, up to Dean, which is being taken care of. And so I think one of the things that I'd like to ask people to make clear to the city commission is if we are faced with a choice between keeping development on 10-acre lots or having some help on the roads out here, which one would you go for?
Thank you again. Please, if we've got like 10 minutes. Yes, sir.
You asked me about a couple weeks ago about how many houses around here are actually full and how many were actually being rented out. I walked the code by Thursday and found that there are 41 older homes that are already up for sale again right now. There are 20 with more rent signs available there right now. And that 30% of those open banks are being rented out
Hi, my name is Diane, and despite my accent, I've been here for more than half my life. I was living here long before Avalon Park was Avalon Park, and since I've been here tonight, I feel like everybody here who loves their life here, I feel like we're a bother to you. I feel like we're annoying you because you want to go ahead with something that we don't want. So now I got two questions for you. The first question, how does this community right here benefit, the community right here, benefit from your proposal?
It's not my
I'm
proposal.
asking you a question, I want you to answer.
It's not my proposal.
That
It's
the
not the county's
proposal that you're
proposal.
sitting up here trying to sell to us, how do we benefit?
What I-
How do we benefit?
Either you let me answer the question.
No, I don't want to skirt around it.
Madam, go ahead, please.
No, because she's on your side.
Because
She's on your side. Now my next question, how do you benefit? How do you benefit from it? I don't believe you. You're a liar.
I just have questions about the transportation analysis, and I kind of live in the world of statistics, and two things come to mind. I don't know why we would have someone do the analysis that benefits from the results. That's just not.
I'm sorry, hold on, I can't hear you, please.
That's fine, I'm sorry. You're supporting what you say. I just don't understand or think it makes logical sense to have people who benefit from an analysis do the analysis. I do that for a living, and it is not, I don't know who's going to pay for it, I understand it can be the county, but there needs to be a neutral analysis done, and I have a problem with that. My second
Let
comment,
me be clear about something, because it's very important.
the developer does that
No,
analysis.
hold on. The developers, whether it's this development or any development in Orange County, in fact, throughout the state of Florida, whether it's local government, whether it's the state, it's the same process. They submit as part of their application for future land use, whatever it is, a transportation study. The county or the local government, the government entity, then reviews that. Typically, it's not necessarily the county staff that does the review, but it's sort of hands off, and we contract it out to a traffic engineering firm for them to review, and the results then are provided back to the applicant. So again, it's not the county proposing anything.
I didn't say that, I didn't say the kind of place.
We are reviewing our own studies because we don't.
I didn't say you were reviewing your own studies, I said that the studies being submitted benefit the person submitting them, and so they can be biased and not neutral, one. But let me finish, because it's true, I write my own studies.
No, it's not. Please go ahead.
But your comment is that it's a practice, I understand. My second comment is, there was a map that says in 2030 the current roads would be over capacity, and I just would like to understand, like, I don't know, it is a question, where can we understand what assumptions we're using in analysis, how was it determined it would be over capacity, and then there was a comment that said that the proposal would fix the roads until 2030. So I'm not understanding that how we get to being so over capacity in 2030. What are the analysis? What's the assumptions? And two, the proposal was said that it only fixed it until 2030. So it seems like we're in the same place at the end of the day. I don't understand what that
So
is.
very, very briefly, with or without the development, you saw the map that showed the roadways being over capacity. That analysis is basically based on a traffic model. It's a regional traffic model, and based on projections of growth, that then generates trips, and then where they go, there are signs that show roadways, and then indicates which roads are over capacity or not. What the applicants have proposed is to improve a series of roads, not the entire network, but to the Lake Picket, McCulloch, Sustany Way, and State Road 50. With the exception of State Road 50, the analysis shows that those series of roadways will be an acceptable level of service through 2030. Sir.
Yes, I have a question. McCulloch Road, are there any plans to eventually talk about extending McCulloch Road all the way to 419? Because that would alleviate a lot of the traffic problems. It seems like a logical solution. Plus, I think there's a lot of health safety issue with museum and stadium there that needs to be addressed.
There are no current plans to extend McCulloch Road to the east. The Board of County Commissioners considered that several years ago, and, they made a policy decision to remove that project from the warrant.
And that's another quick comment too. I've been in real estate since the early 80s, not a developer, right? What I'm hearing at this meeting though, reminds me back in the 80s of people very upset about the Lake Nona area. And with the professional planning of Orange County and the developers, that turned out to be an outstanding development. The fact is that out of the 30 top metropolitan areas in the United States, Orlando ranks number one in growth. Some of those people want to live out here because of UCF, Lockheed Martin, and Central Florida Research Park. And I have another question too. How many people here are complaining that live on 10-acre lots? I bet a lot of you live on half-acre or third-acre lots, and maybe into 5-acre lots. So I think you ought to take that into consideration.
So we only have time for 2 more speakers. I apologize for the folks, but again, please feel free to call me, email me, and I can do that. So now, only you and the young lady, that's it. Okay? We do absolutely have to be out. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. We might be the #1 city in growth, but we are the #2 city in the state in foreclosures. So for me, there has not been a need demonstrated for these new developments and these new buildings when people are foreclosing now. My name is Elizabeth Custer. I live on Lake Picket. I am a volunteer, and I am opposed to the rezoning and to both of these developments as they stand. First of all, I would like to make a comment about your screen because I was not actually able to read it until I got to these doors right here. You lost the entire half part of this room, and I would feel that as a county, if you are seriously concerned about the people in your county being informed of what you're trying to inform them, that you might use at least half of the beautiful screen that you've been given. Because people in the back are not doing this. You have said twice at least that I have noticed. The first thing is that the roads are nearing capacity on 419 Tanner and Tanner South and North and Picket, parts of Picket. So what justification, if our roads are already at capacity, what justification is there for building more homes? Second of all, you just said to the 2 gentlemen that were standing, the gentleman that was before the girl that went before me, that there is an already deficient neighbor area, and a neighbor who comes in, that they have to actually still pay their impact fees, which of course we would assume, but I don't understand if the roads are already deficient, again, why put more homes in? Another thing is that you keep saying to me, and we have had several conversations with your staff, the county staff saying that you are neutral, and I understand that, but you are paid to be here. We are volunteers that have been doing this work. I pay for a babysitter every time I come and see any of these meetings and to be anywhere out that we are working for stateorangecounty.org. And so you can say that you're neutral, but you do not give equal time to the rest of these people who are standing here, who have worked hard all day long, as well as you have worked hard. I understand that. But these people are not paid to be here. I saw children at the verge of tears because they're tired and they've been up since 6 o'clock.
Thank you. The staff that you see here this evening, we're probably on our 14th hour of the day, so I'm sorry for that comment. Now, please, last comment.
I was told that Orange County currently thinks everybody that is opposed to this in this room is currently neutral. Until you get on the microphone and actually state, I am opposed to these 2 developments. Again, I was told Orange County currently has notes saying that we have been neutral this entire time up until you get on the microphone and state, I am opposed to.
We are all opposed except for
I have looked at the Orange County Property Appraiser website and the Public Records website. I had looked up where the Orange County Commissioners live and the mayor. They do not live over here. FYI. I travel over here, I work over here, and I used to live in Oviedo, but yes, I chose to live closer to downtown Orlando, but I can from the developers went over to UCF to the architect and construction school, and I'll remember the acronym for the fraternity, and basically told them to come over to this meeting because they're going to get jobs. There was a guy from Clemson in the meeting last time, as well as UF. Again, people that live here, and yes, I live in Orange County and I pay my taxes, should be here. I believe Ted Edwards lives over, Ted Edwards lives over by Rollins College and also doesn't deal with this traffic. And the traffic study that you guys are referencing from 2030, if we do not do this proposed two projects, the increase will only be about 4,600 vehicles a day. And if this project, both of them go through, it'll be an increase of almost 21,000 vehicles. The difference with 4,600 daily trips and 21,000 is a big difference. So I'm just saying, it's just upsetting. The next meeting, there's only about 56 free parking spots at the Board of County Commissioner building, or you have to pay for meter parking, or you have to pay for hourly parking. Just a heads up. It's 2 o'clock, most of you are going to be working that day. Please get off that day, wear your red shirts. And if you voted for a predominantly Republican commissioner and also a Republican mayor, even though they're not on the books as being affiliated with a certain party, your constituents, you vote to speak up, say something. It's so many issues, and I just feel like this is a county, one of the richest counties in the state of Florida. And between people dying that walk around in Bithlow, we can't get sidewalks out here. If people can't get to hospitals out here, what are we doing?
I this evening, again, as I said, I will be happy to give you my card. You can call me directly or email me. Unfortunately,
Well, you know, we have our HOA meetings here every month, and they let us go over all the time.
I'm sorry, we are,